Alright, so today I'm going to be analyzing a flying arabesque. We're going to be starting off with the upper body. As you can see, the upper body goes through quite a few movements throughout this arabesque. Um, to begin, I would like to start with this movement here. So as you can see, my arms here, um, my elbows are kind of lifted and my hands are facing towards each other. As I continue throughout this movement, you can see that my elbows begin to drop and my hands kind of face each other here. We don't really want to see that. It would have been preferable if I could have kept my elbows lifted and my hands facing inwards more. As we continue throughout this movement here, looking at the arms, coming out of the prep phase and into the execution phase, we are looking at my arms drop down below me. They're sweeping beside my torso. My back arm is lifting up towards the sky, and my front arm follows behind. So here it would have been preferable to have my back arm at a straight 90 degrees instead of at this kind of angle that we see here. And then here, this arm is pretty much in line with this leg, you can see. We do want to see this in ballet as it helps us create the lines and gives us a overall better look and also helps us get more lift in the air. As we go throughout the critical instant phase here, we're moving on to our follow through phase for the arms. You can see that my back arm is sweeping across my torso here. It is going back into that rounded position that we saw in the beginning. So we're sweeping across here as we continue, and then we can see that this back arm here, I would have preferred it to come out at 90 degrees here. However, we can kind of see that my shoulders open and my arm is rounded back that way. However, that is not preferable. I just wanted to comment, you can see that my back is rounded here. However, that is okay. We just want to make sure that those posterior trunk muscles are still being pulled up. And then we come through with the follow phase with this turned out, bent leg and foot as we follow through, stepping through to our final position there. Just another note that I wanted to make for the upper body here is my head. We want to make sure that my head is just in that looking towards the sky in that upper position there, and that my shoulders are lowered away from my ear to elongate my neck. That would have made my arabesque look a lot nicer and a lot cleaner in this position here. All right, now I'm just going to move on to the lower body here. So our lower body is what we're focusing on now. Here in our lower body, these two kicks here are just my preparatory. The main part of the preparatory phase for the flying arabesque is this plie here. So this is our prep phase to step onto our foot that is going to be lifting off of the ground. We can see that my knee is bent with my ankle and my foot in length. So this is proper. However, as we continue on through the movement here, we can see that my back foot begins to sickle inwards and turn inwards. We don't want to see this here. It would have been preferable if I could have kept my ankle straight like it was in the beginning. Focusing on this back leg here, this is our jumping leg. So we're bending in that plie bent position with our knees directly over our toes and our ankles in line. You can see that we're pushing off here. So all of the force is going up this way as we are pushing off of the ground with that one foot. This is our critical instant phase here. So this is the very top of our arabesque. So we can see if we take a look at our legs, we want this knee to be fully extended here. Both of our legs should be pulled up. Our toe should be pointed here as well as at the back. We can kind of see that my hip is a little bit open. It would have been preferable if I could have closed my hips a bit and had them a little bit more boxed off. However, since this is a flying arabesque, it is okay that my hips were a little bit more open here. And then continuing on, we're going to a follow-through phase. So as we can see here, all of my weight is now coming down towards the ground. So all of that back leg is absorbing all of the impact from the jump, and my front leg then sweeps across this way, and as I step forward, my foot turns out and my back leg back leg comes behind me into a pointed. Okay, so now we're looking at an arabesque from another viewpoint here. So this is from the opposite leg. As you can see, it gives us a different angle here. The same notes as we previously went over. However, in this position, you can kind of see the back side more. So we can see that my front leg here is straight at the critical instant. However, in this arabesque, I definitely could have moved my head more up towards where I was traveling. I was kind of looking over to the side, which is not preferable. Same thing as in my other upper body notes. My arm is going backwards. We would prefer for that to be up at a 90 degrees. You can also see here that my shoulder is kind of backwards as well. That's another thing about having the shoulders squared off. So that would be very beneficial for me to work on. You can see that my back is quite curved here. So this is okay. We want to see that curve in the back as long as we are pulling up in the muscles, that is completely okay. And yeah, so we know that the force is coming up from the ground here in this position. And that's exactly what we want to see. All of our force is coming off of that one foot. And then as we follow through on the last phase here, all of that momentum that we had going upwards is now coming downwards here. So all of that one foot there is just absorbing all of the pressure from that jump that we just did. So my landing position here isn't the greatest. We can see that my foot isn't super turned out. It's kind of at a parallel position. And also here, my spine is not very straight. So my spine definitely curved here. As we're doing the follow through position, we would definitely like to see more of a straight spine instead of the curved spine there. Okay, we're just going to move on from that position there into the follow through again. So here we can see that I am pulling up in my body. My front leg, my front foot right here is turned out. My arm is at kind of a rounded position here. And my back arm is also kind of rounded here. Like before, we would have liked this arm to be more out like this instead of rounded so that it's more out parallel to my body at 90 degrees. And I just wanted to also comment here that as we can see us going through the motion, all of my momentum is going in this direction here. So we are traveling forward, and that is what we are supposed to be doing. We don't want to be trying to stay on one spot. So moving forward is our goal here, and we are just following that momentum. Thank you.